Greetings and welcome to my extensive archive of avian videography. This collection represents a curated selection of bird species that I have personally observed and recorded. While my encounters with avian life have been numerous, this compilation is exclusive to those species for which video documentation is available. Each entry in the series provides a concise yet informative overview lasting approximately 30 to 40 seconds. It encompasses key details such as species' characteristics, dimensions, natural environment, and other notable attributes that contribute to their uniqueness and ecological significance. This presentation represents a significant endeavor meticulously assembled over several weeks to ensure the highest quality. Should you find the content beneficial, I would be honored if you would subscribe to my channel. Your support is vital as I pursue the significant milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Every subscription, share, and like is greatly valued and contributes to the channel's growth. In this video, I delve into the fascinating world of 84 distinct birds, thoughtfully organized into 11 comprehensive categories. Each segment is designed to enhance your understanding and appreciation of these remarkable avian creatures. Birds of prey, hypercarnivorous birds that actively hunt and feed on vertebrates. Flightless birds, birds that have lost the ability to fly through evolution. Ground-dwelling birds, heavy ground-living birds that have the ability to fly when needed. Hornbill, birds categorized by their long down-curved bill. Kingfisher, birds that have long, sharp pointed bills, short legs, and stubby tails. Owl, mostly solitary, nocturnal birds with a large, broad head, sharp talons, and feathers adapted for silent flight. Cuckoo, medium-sized slender birds, most of which are brood parasites that lay eggs in nests of other bird species. Parrot, colorful birds with strong curved bill and clawed feet. Pigeon, stout-bodied birds with short necks and slender bills. Aquatic birds, birds that live on or around freshwater or saltwater. Passerine, perching birds. More than half of all bird species are passerine. With the preliminary introduction complete, sit back, relax, and immerse yourself in this captivating visual journey. I want to start the list off with the Indian paradise flycatcher, as it was one of my bucket list birds to capture for a very long time, and I fortunately happened to capture it while I was waiting for my train. The adult male can grow up to 20 centimeters in body size and have a 30 centimeter long tail. They have short legs and tend to sit upright on a perch. These birds are widespread in peninsular India and the foothills of the Himalayas up to 1800 meters elevation. The Nankeen kestrel, also known as the Australian kestrel, is a raptor native to Australia and New Guinea. It is one of the smallest falcons and, unlike many, does not rely on its speed to capture its prey. Instead, it simply perches in an exposed position and has a distinctive technique of hovering over crops and grasslands. The Nankeen kestrel is a small, slim falcon, 28 to 35 centimeters long, with a wingspan of 66 to 78 centimeters. The wedge-tailed eagle is the largest bird of prey in the continent of Australia. Wedge-tailed eagles are very large and quite lanky birds. Furthermore, they are distinctive for their prominent carpals and baggy feather trousers. It has a maximum reported wingspan of 2.84 meters or 9 feet 4 inches and a length of up to 1.06 or 3 feet 6 inches. A fully grown female weighs 3 to 5.8 kilos, while the smaller male weighs 2 to 4 kilos. The black kite is a medium-sized bird of prey. Unlike others of the group, black kites are opportunistic hunters and are most likely to scavenge. The black kite is widely distributed throughout the temperate and tropical parts of Eurasia and parts of Australasia and Oceania. Males and females have the same plumage, but females are longer than males and have a little larger wingspan. The wingspan is around 150 centimeters. Cassowaries are flightless birds without a kneel on their sternum bones. Cassowaries are native to the tropical forests of New Guinea, the Aru Islands, and northeastern Australia. Typically, all the cassowaries are shy birds that are found in the deep forest. Females are larger and more brightly colored than the males. Adult southern cassowaries can get up to 2 meters tall and weigh beyond 70 kilos. The emu is a species of flightless bird endemic to Australia, where it is the largest native bird. Emus have soft brown feathers with long necks and legs, and can reach up to 1.9 meters in height. They are robust bipedal runners that can travel great distances and, when necessary, can sprint at 48 kilometers per hour. They are omnivorous and forage on variety of plants and insects, and can go for weeks without eating. The bush-stone curlew is a large ground-dwelling bird endemic to Australia. Its favored habitat is open plains and woodlands, where it stalks slowly at night in search of invertebrates such as insects. The total length of the species is 55 centimeters. The wingspan approaches 1 meter across. Bush-stone curlews remain reasonably common in the north of Australia, but have become rare and less fertile south. The peacock, India's national bird, has an iridescent blue and green plumage. The feathers are marked with eye spots best seen when it fans out its tail. The males are larger and heavier than females. The male typically measures up to 115 centimeters in body length, extending to an incredible 225 centimeters in its tail train, and can weigh 4 kilos. Despite these odd proportions, the peacock is able to fly. The Indian grey hornbill is a common medium-sized hornbill found on the Indian subcontinent, measuring around 61 centimeters in length. It is one of the few hornbill species found in urban areas in many cities, where they are able to make use of large trees in avenues. They have a red iris and the eyelids have eyelashes. The casque is short and pointed. The call is a squealing call somewhat like that of a black kite. The common kingfisher is a small kingfisher with a wide distribution across Eurasia and North Africa. It is about 16 centimeters long with a wingspan of 25 centimeters and weighs 34 to 46 grams. The flight of the kingfisher is fast, direct, and usually low over water. The short, rounded wings whir rapidly, and the bird flying across shows an electric blue flash down its back. Kookaburras are terrestrial tree kingfishers native to Australia and New Guinea, which grow up to 47 centimeters in length and weigh around 300 grams. Though they belong to a larger group known as kingfishers, kookaburras are not closely associated with water. They are territorial and often sing as a chorus to mark their territory. The loud, distinctive sound of the laughing kookaburra's call resembles human laughter. The sacred kingfisher is a medium-sized woodland kingfisher that occurs in mangroves, woodlands, forests, and river valleys in Australia, New Zealand, and other parts of the Western Pacific. Adults are 20 to 23 centimeters long and can weigh up to 60 grams. This species, along with 3 other kingfishers, were held in the superstitious veneration by the natives of Polynesia on account of frequently inhabiting burial grounds and were not allowed to be taken or killed. The white-throated kingfisher is a tree kingfisher widely distributed in Asia from the Sinai east through the Indian subcontinent to China and Indonesia. They habitat forests, cultivations, lakes, riversides, also coastal mangroves and estuaries. This species of kingfisher is about 28 centimeters in size. In the 1800s, these birds were hunted for their bright feathers that were used to adorn hats. The barking owl is a nocturnal bird species native to mainland Australia, parts of New Guinea, and the Moluccas. They are a medium-sized brown owl and have a characteristic voice with calls ranging from a barking dog noise to an intense human-like howl. They are a robust medium-sized owl, 39 to 44 centimeters long, and their wingspan is between 85 and 120 centimeters. They can weigh between 380 and 960 grams. The spotted owlet is a small owl which breeds in tropical Asia from mainland India to Southeast Asia. A common resident of open habitats, including farmlands and human habitation. It is adapted to living in cities. The spotted owlet is a small and stocky bird, barely 21 centimeters in size. It nests in a hole in a tree or building, laying 3 to 5 eggs. The Asian quail is a large and long-tailed cuckoo, measuring 46 centimeters and weighing up to 325 grams. It is found in the Indian subcontinent, China, and Southeast Asia. The Asian quail, like many of its related cuckoo kin, is a brood parasite that lays its eggs in the nests of crows and other hosts who raise its young. They are largely unusual among the cuckoos in being largely frugivorous as adults. The blue-faced mulkoha is a non-parasitic cuckoo found in the shrubs and deciduous forests of peninsular India and Sri Lanka. A larger species at 39 centimeters in size, there is a distinctive large blue patch around the eyes. They nest within a thorny bush, building a thick platform of twigs lined with green leaves, and lay a clutch of 2 and rarely 3 chalky white eggs. The greater cockle is a large non-parasitic member of the cuckoo family, a widespread resident in the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. This is a large species of cuckoo measuring 48 centimeters. They are weak flyers and often seen clambering about in vegetation or walking on the ground as they forage for insects, eggs, and nestlings of other birds. The bird is associated with many superstitions and beliefs. The red-tailed black cockatoo is a large black cockatoo native to Australia. It is more common in the drier parts of the continent. The species is usually found in eucalyptus woodlands or along watercourses. In the more northerly parts of the country, these cockatoos are commonly seen in large flocks. Red-tailed black cockatoos are around 60 centimeters in length. The little corella is a white cockatoo native to Australia and southern New Guinea. The little corella is a small white cockatoo growing to 35 to 41 centimeters in length and weighing 370 to 630 grams. Habitat ranges from the arid deserts of central Australia to the eastern coastal plains, but they are not found in the thick forests. Little corellas can also be found in urban areas where they feed on lawns and playing fields. Long-billed corella is a cockatoo native to Australia, which is similar in appearance to the little corella. It has a long, bone-colored beak. The adult long-billed corella measures from 38 to 41 centimeters in length, has a wingspan around 80 to 90 centimeters, and averages 567 grams in weight. The long-billed corella can be found in the wild in Victoria and southeastern New South Wales. The crimson rosella is a parrot native to eastern and southeastern Australia, which has been introduced to New Zealand and Norfolk Islands. It is a medium-sized Australian parrot at 36 centimeters long, much of which is the tail. The nominate bird is mainly red, and a few color mutations exist. such as blue, yellow, white, and cinnamon in aviculture. It is commonly found in, but not restricted to, mountain forests and gardens. The eastern rosella is a parrot native to southeastern Australia, including Tasmania. It has been introduced to New Zealand, where feral populations are found in the North Island. The species is found in lightly wooded country, open forests, woodlands, gardens, bushlands, and parks. The eastern rosella is 30 centimeters long. It is a very colorful bird with the following colors: red, blue, green, yellow, black, white, and gray. The orange-bellied parrot is a small parrot endemic to southern Australia and one of the only 3 species of parrot that migrate. The orange-bellied parrot breeds in Tasmania and winters on the coast of southern mainland Australia. The orange-bellied parrot is a small parrot around 20 centimeters long. As of 2021, the orange-bellied parrot is rated as critically endangered on the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN's) Red List of Endangered Species. The colorful princess parrot is an Australian bird of the parrot family. The princess parrot is a medium-sized parrot, 34 to 46 centimeters long and weighing between 110 and 120 grams. This species is nomadic, arriving in small groups to breed and then disappearing. It is one of Australia's least known parrots because it is so elusive. They are rated as near threatened according to the IUCN. The rainbow lorikeet is a species of parrot found in Australia. It is common along the eastern seaboards from northern Queensland to southern Australia. Its habitat is rainforest, coastal bush, and woodland areas. Rainbow lorikeets have been introduced to Perth, Western Australia, Tasmania, Auckland, New Zealand, and Hong Kong. The rainbow lorikeet is a medium-sized parrot with the length ranging from 25 to 30 centimeters, including the tail, and the weight varies from 75 to 157 grams. The musk lorikeet is a lorikeet found in eastern New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and Tasmania. They are an uncommon nomad in woodlands and drier forests in southeast mainland, mainly west of the Great Dividing Range and in Tasmania. The musk lorikeet is 22 centimeters long. The rose-ring parakeet is a medium-sized parrot. It has disjunct native ranges in Africa and the Indian subcontinent, and is now introduced into many other parts of the world where feral populations have established themselves and are bred for exotic pet trade. Rose-ring parakeets measure on an average 40 centimeters in length, including the tail feathers, a large portion of their total length. The superb parrot is a parrot native to southeastern Australia. The superb parrot is mostly bright green with darker flight feathers and is about 40 centimeters long with a long pointed tail. An Australian endemic, the superb parrot is restricted to the dry woodlands of New South Wales and Victoria. There is estimated to be at least 10,000 individuals in the wild. The crested pigeon is a bird found widely throughout mainland Australia, except for the far northern tropical areas. Habitats include lightly wooded grasslands in both rural and urban areas, but they can also be seen at watercourses, homestead gardens, pastoral areas, sports grounds, and golf courses. The length of the crested pigeon varies from 30 to 34 centimeters. Their most distinctive behavior is the beating and whistling sound their wings make as they take off. The Indian fantail pigeon is a breed of fancy pigeon which originated in India. They walk on their toes. Their average weight is 370 grams and their average length is 28 centimeters. The Indian fantail stands upright, unlike the English fantail, whose chest is carried upright so that it is higher than the bird's head, which rests back on the cushion formed by the tail feathers. The emerald dove is a widespread resident breeding pigeon native to the tropical and subtropical parts of the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. The common emerald dove is a stocky, medium-sized pigeon, typically 23 to 27 centimeters in length. The common emerald dove is the state bird of the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. This is a common species in tropical forests and similar dense wet woodlands, farms, and mangroves. The spotted dove is a small and somewhat long-tailed pigeon that is a common resident breeding bird across its native range on the Indian subcontinent and in East and Southeast Asia. The species has been introduced in many parts of the world and feral populations have become established. The spotted dove in its native range in Asia is found across a range of habitats including woodlands, scrub, farmlands, and habitation. The length ranges from 28 to 32 centimeters. The white-headed pigeon is a pigeon native to the east coast of Australia. Adults range from 38 to 42 centimeters from beak to tail and weigh around 420 grams. The pigeon's habitat is from Cooktown, Queensland to southern New South Wales, with increasing numbers now found in eastern Victoria. It can be commonly found in tropical regions, subtropical rainforests, scrub, watercourses, and street trees. The Wonga pigeon is a pigeon that inhabits areas in eastern Australia, with its range being from central Queensland to Gippsland, eastern Victoria, Australia. The Wonga pigeon is a large pulp pigeon that has a short neck, broad wings, and a long tail. Its length varies from 38 to 40 centimeters. They can be very elusive birds, more often being heard but not seen, producing explosive wing claps when disturbed. The Australasian darter is a large, slim water bird with a long and slender neck. Because of this, it is sometimes called the snake bird. It is found in Australia, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. Typical habitat is freshwater or brackish wetlands more than half a meter deep, with fallen trees or logs and vegetated banks. Less commonly, darters are found in inland saltwater environments. They can measure up to 94 centimeters in length and weigh approximately 2.6 kilos. The Eurasian coot is an aquatic bird found in Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and parts of northern Africa. The Eurasian coot is 36 to 38 centimeters in length, with a wingspan of 70 to 80 centimeters. Males weigh around 890 grams and females 750 grams. The Eurasian coot is a noisy bird with a wide repertoire of crackling, explosive, or trumpeting calls, often given at night. The coot breeds across much of the Old World in freshwater lakes and ponds. The black-necked stork is a tall, long-necked waddling bird in the stork family. It is a resident species across the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia, with a disjunct population in Australia. It lives in wetland habitats and near fields of certain crops such as rice and wheat, where it forages for a wide range of animal prey. The black-necked stork is a large bird, 129 to 150 centimeters tall, having a 230 centimeter wingspan. The black swan is a large water bird, a species of swan which breeds mainly in southeast and southwest regions of Australia. Within Australia, the black swan is nomadic, with erratic migration patterns depending on the climatic conditions. The black swan is common in wetlands of southwestern and eastern Australia and adjacent coastal inlands. Mature black swans measure between 110 and 142 centimeters in length. The black-winged stilt is a widely distributed, very long-legged wada. It is restricted to the form that is widespread in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Adults are 33 to 36 centimeters long. The breeding habitat of all these stilts is marshes, shallow lakes, and ponds. Some populations are migratory and move to the ocean coast in winter. These birds pick up their food from sand or water. They eat mainly insects and crustaceans. The Australian pied cormorant is a medium-sized member of the cormorant family. It is found around the coasts of Australasia. In Australia, it is only moderately common in eastern states, both the coast and inland wetlands, but abundant in southwest, particularly along the coast. It stands between 65 and 85 centimeters tall, with a wingspan of 110 to 130 centimeters. The little egret is a species of small heron. The adult little egret is 55 to 65 centimeters long, with an 88 to 106 centimeters wingspan, and weighs 350 to 550 grams. They use a variety of methods to procure their food. They stalk their prey in shallow water. They make use of opportunities provided by cormorants disturbing fish or humans attracting fish by throwing bread into the water. The Australasian gannet is a large seabird of the booby and gannet family. These birds are plunge divers and spectacular fishers plunging into the ocean at high speed. The species range over water above the continental shelf along the southern and eastern Australian coastline. An adult Australasian gannet is 84 to 91 centimeters long, weighs 2.3 kilos, and has a 170 to 200 centimeter wingspan. The great cormorant is a widespread member of the cormorant family of seabirds. Weight is reported to vary from 1.5 kilos to 5.3 kilos. This is a very common and widespread bird species. It feeds on the sea in estuaries and on freshwater lakes and rivers. It breeds in much of the Old World, Australia, and the Atlantic coast of North America. The grey heron is a long-legged wading bird of the heron family, native throughout temperate Europe and Asia, and also parts of Africa. The grey heron is a large bird standing up 100 centimeters tall and measuring 84 to 102 centimeters long. With a 155 to 195 centimeter wingspan, grey herons are apex predator in their aquatic ecosystem. The grey teal is a dappling duck found in open wetlands in Australia and New Zealand. The grey teal prefers to live in habitats of shallow water areas including lagoons, swamps, and shallow freshwater lakes. Grey teal grows up to 45 centimeters in length. In Australia, the grey teal is one of the most common birds shot during the hunting season. The Australian white ibis is a wading bird of the ibis family. It is widespread across much of Australia. The Australian white ibis is a fairly large ibis species, around 65 to 75 centimeters long. It occurs in marshy wetlands, often near open grasslands, and has become common in Australian East Coast city parks and rubbish dumps in the urban areas of Wollongong, Sydney, Perth, the Gold Coast, Brisbane, and Townsville. The Indian cormorant is a member of the cormorant family. It is found mainly along the inland waters of the Indian subcontinent, but extends west to Sindh and east of Thailand and Cambodia. The cormorant fishes gregariously in inland rivers or large wetlands of peninsular India and the northern parts of Sri Lanka. They grow up to 63 centimeters and weigh up to 790 grams. The Pacific black duck is a dabbling duck found in much of Indonesia, New Guinea, Australia, New Zealand, and many islands of the southwestern Pacific, reaching to the Caroline Islands in the north and French Polynesia in the east. This sociable duck is found in a variety of wetland habitats, and its nesting areas are much like those of the mallard, which is encroaching on its range in New Zealand. The size range is 54 to 61 centimeters. The Australian pelican is a large water bird widespread on the inland and coastal waters of Australia and New Guinea. also in Fiji, parts of Indonesia, and as vagrant in New Zealand. The Australian pelican is medium-sized by pelican standards with a wingspan of 2.3 to 2.6 meters. Weight can range from 4 kilos to 13 kilos. Australian pelicans feed by plunge diving while swimming on the surface of water. The purple heron is a wide-ranging heron species. It breeds in Africa, Central and Southern Europe, and Southern and Eastern Palearctic. The purple heron is a large bird, 78 to 97 centimeters in length, with a standard height of 70 to 94 centimeters and a 120 to 152 centimeter wingspan. It is also a more evasive bird, favoring densely vegetated habitats near water, particularly reed beds. The ashy prenia is a small warbler. The prenia is a resident breeder in the Indian subcontinent, ranging across most of India, Nepal, Bangladesh, eastern Pakistan, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and western Myanmar. This passerine bird is found in dry open grasslands, open woodlands, scrub, and in home gardens in many cities. These 14 centimeter long warblers have short rounded wings and a longish graduated cream tail tipped with black subterminal spots. The bank myna is a myna found in northern parts of South Asia. The native range of the bank myna is almost restricted to the Indian subcontinent from the Indus Valley in the west to the Gangetic Delta in the east and south of the lower foothills of the Himalayas, only rarely being found in sheltered valleys. They grow up to 22 centimeters in length and weigh 64 to 76 grams. The black drongo is a small Asian passerine bird. It is a common resident breeder in much of the tropical southern Asia from southwest Iran through Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, east to southern China and Indonesia, and accidental visitor of Japan. They are known to utter fake alarm calls that scare other animals off food, which the drongo then claims. It is an all-black bird with a distinctive forked tail and measures 28 centimeters in length. The black-faced cuckoo shrike is a common omnivorous passerine bird native to Australia and southern New Guinea. It has a protected status in Australia under the National Parks and Wildlife Act of 1974. They are widely distributed in almost any wooded habitat throughout the region except in rainforests. The size varies between 32 and 34 centimeters. Outside the breeding season, they like to flock in groups of up to 100 birds. The black-hooded oriole is a member of the oriole family of the passerine birds and is a resident breeder in tropical southern Asia from India and Sri Lanka east to Indonesia. It is a bird of open woodlands and cultivation. It is 23 to 25 centimeters long and weighs about 80 grams. According to a Bengali folktale, it is believed that the bird is actually a reincarnation of a girl. The chestnut-breasted manakin or bully bird in Australia is a small brown-backed munia with a black face and greyish crown and nape. It has a broad ferruginous breast bar above a white belly. The species is found in Australia, New Caledonia, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. This species has been introduced to French Polynesia. They grow up to 12 centimeters in length. The cinereous tit is a species of bird in the tit family. These birds are grey-backed with white undersides. The great tit in the new sense is distinguishable by a greenish back and yellowish underside. The distribution of these species extends from parts of West Asia across South Asia and Southeast Asia. They grow up to 12 centimeters in length. The common babblers are found in dry open scrub country, mainly in India. Like most other babblers, the common babbler is found in small parties of 6 to 20. They are vociferous, moving on the ground, often with members keeping watch from top of bushes. They grow up to 25 centimeters in length and weigh 30 to 40 grams. They are found mainly in dry regions with sparse and low thorny shrub vegetation. The diamond firetail is a species of estrilded finch that is endemic to Australia. It has a patchy distribution and generally occupies drier forests and grassy woodlands west of the Great Dividing Range from southeast Queensland to the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia. The diamond firetail is one of the largest of the Australian finches by both weight 15 to 19 grams and wingspan 64 to 71 millimeters. The species is listed under the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species as a species of vulnerable. The Gouldian finch, also known as the Gould's finch or the rainbow finch, is a colorful passerine bird that is native to Australia. Gouldian finches are about 14 centimeters long. The number of Gouldian finches in the wild decreased dramatically in the 20th century due to human-caused habitat loss. The Gouldian finch is used as the basis of the ViewSonic logo. The Asian green bee-eater is a near passerine bird in the bee-eater family. It is resident but prone to seasonal movements and is found widely distributed across Asia from coastal southern Iran east through the Indian subcontinent to Vietnam. Like other bee-eaters, this species is a richly colored, slender bird. It is about 23 centimeters long, with about 5 centimeters made up by the elongated central tail feathers. The grey currawong is a large passerine bird native to southern Australia, including Tasmania. It is a large crow-like bird, around 48 centimeters long on average, with white irises, a heavy bill, dark plumage with white undertails, and wing patches. The wingspan varies from 72 to 85 centimeters, with an average weight of around 350 grams. It has adapted poorly to human impact and has declined in much of its range, although not considered endangered. The house sparrow is a bird of the sparrow family, found in most parts of the world. It is a small bird that has a typical length of 16 centimeters and a mass of 24 to 40 grams. The house sparrow is strongly associated with human habitation and can live in urban and rural settings. Though found in widely varied habitats and climates, it typically avoids extensive woodlands and grasslands, polar regions, and hot dry deserts, far away from human development. The Indian robin is a species of passerine bird. It is widespread in the Indian subcontinent and ranges across Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. They are commonly found in open scrub areas, dry habitat, and are mostly absent from the thicker forest regions and high rainfall areas. They are often seen running along the ground or perching on low thorny bushes and rocks. They grow up to 16 centimeters in length. The Indian silverbill is a small passerine bird found in the Indian subcontinent. This estrilded finch is a common resident breeding bird in the drier regions of the Middle East and the Indian subcontinent. It has also been introduced into many other parts of the world and has become established in some areas. They forage in small flocks in grasslands and scrub habitats. The adult Indian silverbill is 11 centimeters long. The jungle babbler is found in the Indian subcontinent. Jungle babblers are gregarious birds that forage in small groups of 6 to 10 birds. The jungle babbler's habitats is forest and cultivation. The jungle babbler is a common resident breeding bird in most parts of the Indian subcontinent and are often seen in gardens within large cities as well as forested areas. They grow up to 16 centimeters long. The long-tailed shrike is found widely distributed across Asia, and there are variations in plumage across the range. The species ranges across much of Asia, both on the mainland and the eastern archipelagos. The long-tailed shrike is a typical shrike favoring dry, open habitats and found perched prominently atop a bush or a wire. They grow up to 28 centimeters long. The Australian magpie is a black and white passerine bird native to Australia and southern New Guinea and introduced to New Zealand. The adult Australian magpie is a fairly robust bird ranging from 37 to 43 centimeters in length. Described as one of Australia's most accomplished songbirds, the Australian magpie has an array of complex vocalizations. Magpies may engage in escalating series of behaviors to drive off intruders. Least threatening are alarm calls and distant swoops where birds fly several meters from behind and perch nearby. The magpie lark is a passerine bird native to Australia, Timor, and southern New Guinea. The magpie lark is of small to medium size, reaching 25 to 30 centimeters. The magpie lark is a common and very widespread bird both in urban and rural areas, occupying all parts of Australia except for Tasmania and some of the inland deserts in the far northwest of Western Australia, and appears to have adapted well to the presence of humans. The miners are a group of birds in the starling family. This is a group of passerine birds which are native to southern Asia, especially Afghanistan, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. Several species have been introduced to the area, like North America, Australia, South Africa, Fiji, and New Zealand, especially the common miner, which is often regarded as an invasive species. They grow up to 26 centimeters long. The noisy miner is a bird in the honey-eater family and is endemic to eastern and southeastern Australia. The noisy miner is a large honey-eater, 24 to 28 centimeters in length, with a wingspan of 36 to 45 centimeters and weighing 70 to 80 grams. Abundant throughout its significant range, the noisy miner is considered of least concern for conservation, and its extreme population densities in some areas actually constitute a threat to other species. The Indian white-eye is a small passerine bird in the white-eye family. It is a resident breeder in open woodlands on the Indian subcontinent. The bird is small, about 8 to 9 centimeters long. The species is found in a wide range of habitat from scrub to moist forest. They sometimes occur in mangrove areas, such as in the Karachi region, Pakistan, and on islands that may lead to more insectivorous life. They are somewhat rare only in the drier desert regions of western India. The purple-rumped sunbird is a sunbird endemic to the Indian subcontinent. Like other sunbirds, they are small in size, feeding mainly on nectar, but sometimes take insects, particularly when feeding the young. Purple-rumped sunbirds are tiny, at less than 10 centimeters long. They pollinate the flowers of many plant species. Sunbirds may indulge in dew bathing or bathing by sliding over drops of rains collected on large leaves. The purple sunbird is a small bird in the sunbird family found mainly in South and Southeast Asia, but extending west into parts of the Arabian Peninsula. Like other sunbirds, they feed mainly on nectar, although they will also take insects, especially when feeding the young. This sunbird has a relatively short bill, a dark and short square-ended tail. Less than 10 centimeters long, they have a down-curved bill with a brush-tipped tubular tongues that aid in nectar feeding. The red-rumped swallow is a small passerine bird in the swallow family. It breeds in open hilly country of temperate southern Europe and Asia from Portugal and Spain to Japan, India, Sri Lanka, and tropical Africa. They grow up to 19 centimeters in length. They do not normally form large breeding colonies, but are gregarious outside the breeding season. Many hundreds can be seen at a time on the plains of India. The red-vented bulbul is a member of the bulbul family of Passerines. It is a resident breeder across the Indian subcontinent, including Sri Lanka, extending east to Burma and parts of Bhutan and Nepal. It is about 20 centimeters in length. This bird is of dry scrub, open forests, plains, and cultivated lands. In its native range, it is rarely found in mature forests. The red-whiskered bulbul is a passerine bird native to Asia. It is a member of the bulbul family. It is a resident frugivore found mainly in tropical Asia. It has been introduced in many tropical areas of the world where populations have established themselves. It is now also found in southern Melbourne and Adelaide, although it is unclear how they got there. The red-whiskered bulbul is about 20 centimeters in length. The regent bowerbird is a medium-sized, up to 25 centimeters long, sexually dimorphic bowerbird. The diet consists mainly of fruits, berries, and insects. An Australian endemic, the regent bowerbird is distributed to rainforests and margins of eastern Australia, from central Queensland to New South Wales. The name commemorates a prince regent of the United Kingdom. The rufous tree-pie is a tree-pie native to the Indian subcontinent and adjoining parts of Southeast Asia. It is a member of the crow family. It is long-tailed and has a loud musical call, making it very conspicuous. It is found commonly in open scrub, agricultural areas, forests, as well as urban gardens. The size of the rufous tree-pie is somewhere between 45 to 55 centimeters, including the tail. The scaly-breasted munia is a sparrow-sized estrildid finch native to tropical Asia. The scaly-breasted munia is about 11 to 12 centimeters long and weighs 12 to 16 grams. Scaly-breasted munias are found in a range of habitats but are usually close to water and grasslands. In India, they are especially common in paddy fields where they are considered a minor pest on account of their feeding on grain. The superb fairy wren is a passerine bird in the Australasian wren family and is common and familiar across the southeastern Australia. The superb fairy wren is 14 centimeters long and weighs 8 to 13 grams. The superb fairy wren can be found in almost any area that has at least a little dense undergrowth for shelter, including grasslands with scattered shrub, moderately thick forests, woodlands, heaths, and domestic gardens. Tickle's blue flycatcher is a small passerine bird in the flycatcher family. This is an insectivorous species which breeds in tropical Asia from the Indian subcontinent eastwards to Bangladesh and western Myanmar. Tickle's blue flycatcher is about 11 to 12 centimeters long. It sits upright and forages mainly in the overgrowth. Tickle's blue flycatcher breeds in dry forests, shrubs, bamboo, and gardens. The white-browed wood swallow is a medium-sized, approximately 19 centimeters long, passerine bird endemic to Australia. The white-browed wood swallow has a bifurcated or divided tongue like most wood swallows. They often wander irregularly around inland Australia, usually heading north for winter in the Northern Territory and central Queensland, and south in spring for nesting. They inhabit margins of rainforests, woodlands, inland coast, scrub, golf courses, vineyards, suburban streets, and arid areas of Australia. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing.